All right. Hello, hello. It is good to see you guys. Oh, kind of see you guys. It's good to have you all in class today. I apologize for not being in the past 2 days. If you didn't hear, Miss Ring and I were rear-ended on the way home from work on Tuesday. We're both fine. Miss Ring did have to get a scan and she's home, but some of the meds are making her a little unstable. So I've got to stay home, keep an eye on her, make sure that everything's fine there. So I plan on being in on Friday. I look forward to seeing y'all. Today, we are still going to be going over our lesson and we're going to be moving on to some new, more interesting things. Okay. So this is going to be kind of a foundational skill, something you've done before. So it shouldn't be too crazy. It's just a refresher on how to find the mean of a list of numbers. Okay. The mean is just a fancy way of saying average. I mean, literally. The mean just means find the average from a list of numbers. That list could be 3 numbers long, 10 numbers long, 4 numbers long. It doesn't matter. You're going to get some numbers and you're going to find the average, which is very straightforward. You're going to look at that list. You're going to look at all the numbers that are inside of that list, and you're going to start by adding them up. Okay? So we add all the numbers in that list. That's going to give us the sum, the total of all those things together. The next thing we're going to do is count how many numbers were actually in that list. Like I said, some lists are going to be longer than others. Some lists are going to be shorter than others. But if you can count how many are in there, that'll help you. Last but not least, you're going to take that sum, that total. You're going to take how many numbers there are in that list and you are going to divide them. Okay? So it is literally add, count, divide. That's how you find the mean. Okay? You have to be able to find the mean for what we're doing on Monday next week. Okay? So let's start by taking a look at what I've done here. Now, you're going to notice that I've got a 3 right here at the beginning, right? There we go. That 3 right there matches. I've got a 6 going second right here. I got a 6 going second here. I've got a 7. I've got another 7. Okay. I mean, I could keep going down this list. I've got an 11. I've got an 11. I've got another 3. That's okay. If I've got the number again, I just add it again. And I just keep working my way down saying, look, here's a 10, there's a 10. I'm just adding, 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 and adding more, and adding more. You get the idea. Okay? When I take the 3, the 6, the 7, the 11, the 3, the 10, the 5, and the 11, and I add them up, my sum, my total is this 56 right here. That 56 goes here. All right? So, how many numbers did I actually have here? I go back and I count. I go, okay, 1, 2, 3. There's 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 numbers. 56, when I added them up, divided by the 8 numbers that I had, gives me an average of 7. My mean, my average is that 7. And that's what I'm looking for. That's the answer I've been seeking. Take your page and flip it over for me where I've got a couple of examples. All right. First one says find the mean of the following list of numbers. Now, in this case, it's decimals. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's decimals, it's handled the exact same way. You might get answers as decimals. You might get questions that give you decimals as part of the list. Decimals are just another kind of number that we can add up. So I grab my calculator and I go, okay, let's add these up. 11.6 plus 30.9 plus 8.3 plus 4.4. And I look and I notice, oh, I missed the number 9. I missed that number 9. No big thing. I go ahead and hit enter and I get 64.2. That 64.2 is important. It's my sum. It's what I needed. I go back and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. I divide that by 5, and I get 12.84. I go over here and I say, okay, 12.84 is my average for this list of numbers. Yeah, it's got two places after the decimal. That's fine. It's a good answer. I'm done. I got it. So, those are what happens when you're given just a list of numbers, just straight up to find the average, the mean of. Okay. All right. Last but not least, what about word problems? Word problems are, I know, a little bit crazy sometimes, but that's okay. Mr. Ring spends $50 at HEB. He spends $42 at Walmart. He spends $81 at Ross. He spends $143 at Buc-ee's. It's been a while since I've been to Buc-ee's, but it would be the place I'd spend the most. So let's go ahead, grab our calculators, and start figuring out what to do. I take those numbers. I take the $50 from HEB. I add it to the $81. I add it to the $42. I add it to the $143 that I spent at Buc-ee's, and I spent a total of $316 at 4 stores. So I divide it by the 4 because there's 4 numbers that I go to, and on average, I spent $79. That doesn't mean I spent that at each store. It's just that's the average that I spent. Okay. So once again, don't be mean. You're above average. Your worksheets is front and back. You've got this. I need y'all to get that completed for me, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday.